for tool rent and shared delivery. Thank you.
I'm Sherwood. I work with Mortar. I appreciate your time. Thanks for listening to me talk about my company. What we do is pretty simple. We take people's surplus tools, idle tools, and we put them back on the market for rent. It's surprising how many tools are out there just sitting in people's garages and driveways and stuff like that. Trailers are one of our big things, skid steers, and a bunch of other stuff that just contractors, everyday people need and want. So anyway, we say that we're tool rentals are a constant small business deal. It's because we emulated Airbnb's platform almost to the T, and they did a really good job with their software and getting people involved, talking to each other, letting the owners of the tools handle all the business and kind of help us out. So we are on the App Store, Google Play, and the web. We're still developing. It's a pretty extensive website so far. It's been a year and a half of development, so it's coming along. Nice. Okay, so we started in 2015. I'm an Airbnb superhost. I have been for 8 quarters now. I have a house that I rent out by the room. I have 5 bedrooms. And so we got sort of the culture from that. And then I also have a car that I brought my little brother back in the day. It's a Jetta. And we rent that out on Turo. If y'all know what Turo is, it does the same thing as cars. And then I have a small construction company called Task. And we owned a bunch of tools, and I started renting out tools from that, like off of Craigslist and different things like that. My first start was to find a developer, and actually, funny enough, he used to hang around here. I didn't meet him here, but he always used to talk about this place, and he always used to try and push me to get to this place. I was just so busy all the time, so this is one of my first times here, I'm going to admit. So anyway, we spent a year in development. It took us a while to get the Android app going and then the web platform going and all of that. And we didn't have tool rent at first either. We used to call it Every Task. Since my company is called Task, we used to call it Every Task. So that was our MVP right there, and that hit Google Play November 11th of last year. And so as soon as that started to hit, I was able to kind of facade my company as a tech company, and I got people excited. And so we were really just a brick and mortar rental house for a long time, but we were saying that we were this app, making people walk through the app, even though it wasn't running. So we were trying to get the habits back into tech, because we really want to be a tech company. So that was for a while there. Team, me, and then the developer. I call him the super tech genius because he takes all of our ideas and he just him onto the platform. We've got special features in app chat. We've got price negotiation, all of these features that allow people to be people and just continue to rent tools and make it super easy. So the other guy is my brother. He was there when I came up with the idea, and he had some. This is him right here. He was there when I came up with the idea, and we inherited some money from my grandmother. It wasn't too much, but he leveraged it all, so he was there right from the get-go. So. He gives a little bit of cash to kind of help us boost along too. And constant support, the guy's just a genius as well. Then Nick, he's 19 years old, and the kid is just a tool hustler. He, all day long, just hustles tools, gets it to everybody. He just constant, 24/7. And then the last guy who saves our ass all the time is Devin, and he's the in-house mechanic, and he's a welder. People mess up stuff. It just happens with tool rentals. Construction's rough. This guy just keeps us moving all the time, so he's pretty key too. So a pretty small team, but we work out pretty well. We have an office now these days. It's in Garland. We house some of the tools there. We move some of the tools there. We fix the tools there. We do some of that kind of stuff. So that is. Today, we have all 3 platforms live, right? We're still under construction. It's still mainly a brick and mortar rental house. Some people are using the app. We're starting to use some of the features in the app to get people going. We have 45 tool owners, 350 tool renters, right? So you can kind of see some of this. Stripe does a really good job of giving you analytics of everything. It's my first company to have analytics of everything. It's always a little stressful. When I had a construction company, so much was just left to chance. I just doing all the finances myself. This one shows you by the minute. It's crazy. You get addicted to just watching it. So anyway, 742 payments. Last month was our first month to top 50K in tool rentals. Yeah, so that's a lot of Nick and myself, tool hustling pretty good, 24/7 kind of deal, like really going at it. People are starting to upload their tools in different states, New York, Florida, Chicago, London. Some of our advertising is on, what's it called, Instagram, and so you can't really control that, right? So everybody just sees it. So we had to control it just to allow rents in Texas, but people can upload from wherever. And so we get some tools in random spots. None of them are really rented yet because we haven't turned it on. And we have no business in doing that. But as we grow, I mean, it's just exciting to see it. And the last one is we're making friends with Google. Some of these are like our secrets, and we have some competition out there, and I don't necessarily want it to get out there, and that sounds super lame. But like we're making pretty good friends with Google. We're doing some creative things, and trying to be different just a little bit. Our market validation. So like a couple of our competition is Yard Club, right? They were backed by Caterpillar for $10 million. They only rent Caterpillar equipment, and so that kind of limits them, in my opinion. Probably the biggest one is equipmentshare.com. They kind of have a good name, just like Tool Rent. They got $5.5 million from Romulus, and but they take the contractors' tools away, place them on their yard. They also bought a bunch of their own tools. So with Tool Rent, I try and say that we're the largest tool rental company that doesn't own any tools. And then the industry is $39 billion. There's like 10,000 contractors, and then hundreds of rental companies in Texas. So big market, big market. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. So what we do now is take 15 minutes for a Q&A, and the first question is, what can we do for you?
Upload tools, just keep uploading tools, talk about it, I guess. You're talking about this community right here? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure somebody owns tools out there, just jump in, put your tool on there, make some money. What's going on?
Hi, thanks for the presentation, and also thanks for coming out to the deck. It's great to have you here. Use this, or what's your target demographic for people that are buying and selling? Like, can I only rent large? If I have like a saw in my closet, can I put that on your platform?
Yep. So we have sewer snakes, drills, concrete saws, a lot of the little stuff rents, pole saws, chainsaws. A lot of that kind of stuff rents. We have this guy that doesn't want to buy any of his own tools, a handyman, and we give him incredible deals. Like he just keeps coming for a drill. We'll give it to him for like $7, and he's just like over and over and over again. So it was just sitting there.
So just to follow up on that, I'm sure when you set out to launch this, you had a persona in mind or a demographic in mind. Now with analytics being available to you, have you profiled who's actually using on both sides of this platform, who's putting on the equipment and who's renting, and how accurate your own prediction or guess of what your persona is?
Right, so the obvious answer would be like the contractor, right, who owns all the tools. You want to get the contractor who's not always working every single day. But a lot of just regular homeowners and DIYers will buy that tool for that one gig, right? There's just those people that don't want to rent anything and they'll buy that one thing, and there's a whole bunch of those. So we kind of had both, I guess. I don't know. I was in Airbnb super hard, so I saw a lot of those people, and people wanted to move their stuff, and so there's a lot of. It's almost everybody. I don't know. I don't want to say everybody and be super broad, but it's a lot of people. So.
I have a question. How do you think you compete with a more traditional tool rental like Home Depot? And do you think you can steal people from that market who don't even get online with tools?
So yeah, right now we're getting what I call the shoppers, the people that are looking around for different ways to rent. Home Depot is sort of expensive. United Rentals is sort of expensive. Sunbelt, the big national chains, are sort of expensive. Even like the local or smaller businesses like AA Rentals and like these ones that are mom and pops are sort of expensive. And when the homeowner adds their own tool, they get to pick their own price, right? And people are much happier with like 30, 40, 50% lower than the other things. So we're cheaper, we're open 24 hours a day. We have like in-app chat, right? So they can chat directly with that homeowner. And if you can get people on the phone, and most people have their phone on them a lot, So if you can get them on the phone, it's just like Airbnb. Like when I get a new request, at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm answering it, So I've done that at night too with tools, people's tools break down at like midnight, and I'll just run out of the house and go drop off the tool. So it really relies on the tool owner. You know, so.
Wait, one more question. You have to drop off the tool to the person renting it.
No, they can come pick it up. I charge people to drop it off, and if you're on the job site, like as a contractor, it's kind of a pain in the butt to go out of the way, you know, and it's an inefficiency, and you just don't like that feeling as a contractor. So if I can drop it off to you and I get paid, then they're much happier too. So.
Is there a direct line option?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, my name is Nick. My question was kind of along the lines of his, but instead of competing with the Home Depot or the Sun Belts out there, have you thought about partnering up with them or getting them on your website, you know, kind of getting their customer traffic onto your platform instead of competing directly?
So there's a re-rental program. Well, big rental houses do it too. Like if they run out of equipment, it's called a re-rental program. And so I've been going to these big houses and doing re-rentals. So Texas First is Caterpillar's like re-rental or like their rental platform or their rental company, I guess. And so we tried to do it with them. They found us as direct competition eventually. They shut us down. I like took the stickers off my truck, put it in a different name, kept renting from them, you know, and then like would do it that way. But we finally found a couple of those people that were like smaller but still pretty decent size, like Landmark Equipment, who has like 17 million in assets. They have Waxahachie, Irving, Fort Worth, and different locations, a bunch of builders, mechanics, and everything like that. And they give us good enough prices that we re-rate too from them. So we are trying to adapt our software into their software because they're straight brick and mortar warehouse, you know, like old, like 50 employees and they're selling and a bunch of, you know, spaces. So.
Yeah, I got a question for you. My name is Matthew. And my question is about purchasing. Can they direct purchase and rent to purchase also?
No, not on my website. No, I haven't ever sell or do that. We were just focused on renting.
Thank you.
My question is about this being a platform. Obviously, scaling is what you're after, and you want to scale it. What I heard, and correct me if I'm mistaken, that you're open and probably not pushing back on some of the, let's say, temptations of going to a few other revenue streams like the dropping off of the piece of equipment. I mean, how scalable do you think you are, given where you are today, and given that you're going into different activities that may or may not be actually scalable, so they may stand in the way. Can you take us into where you see this and how we see it scaling? Because I mean, platforms do have to scale, otherwise they're not as powerful as they. You're taking Airbnb as an example.
So as the platform gets better and the features get more in tune, right? So we want features like that check-in photos and videos where like Turo has before and after rents, right? So we can kind of keep track of that. But most people that own tools have their own habits of like taking care of their tools and, you know, their availability and their Dropbox, and they can set all that in app. So the more the software becomes user-friendly over time, the more it's scalable. Right now, it's got no before and after photos, right? It doesn't have like some of the features that I think personally that can go nationwide. That's why we're still here in Dallas, you know, as a facade as a tech company. But as the tech goes, I think we'll be scalable.
So operational scale, to read a picture, that provides some of the features you mentioned.
So say that one more time.
From an operation standpoint, how scalable you can upgrade a few features to do that quickly have to do your team. But if they're open to the market,
Can you repeat that?
I mean, I'm talking about your ability to scale from an operational standpoint. If you have some features that are taxing your team today, like dropping off, for example, and a few other, maybe welding and so on, that's a lot of overhead from an operational standpoint. And you may not be able to scale with that. So that was my question. Not on the app being uptaken by the uptake of the app by users, that can go viral and there are ways to do that. I'm talking about the business model itself being scalable from an operational standpoint.
I see what you're saying, like drivers and mechanics and offices and everything. I
That's
really
the
don't
operational
plan.
headache.
Yeah, really don't plan on having too many more of those, right? So we're really trying to leverage the user and their habits. They own that trailer already. They own that truck already. So if somebody rents on that, then if they want to drop it off, then they can drop it off. And if somebody breaks it right, and there's before and after photos, they're probably gonna have a mechanic shop. So right now, it'll be an analog process of them getting an estimate, and us back charging the customer. We keep credit cards and all their information on file. So we try and be as much of a brick and mortar warehouse as we can, but as we get bigger, all that'll be in app, and so we will be scalable from an operations point.
I mean, in startups like that, some people talk about it and the need, and actually it's a very strong need for some discipline in the activities involved in launching a startup and having its growth. Could you take me through the product or how you design your offering? Because what concerns me, if I can offer something that is the fact you, what you mentioned around the other adjacent kind of offering around the core offer, which is the drop off and ticket offering to it, is, I mean, how disciplined were you, how deliberate were you in offering that? Because I think related to the scalability is your discipline in maybe pushing back on some of the nice to have features, because on the long term they may offer some of the headaches that you talked about, or create an environment that's harder to control than otherwise, kind of early stage of the start.
So you're just saying that we should take off?
Not necessarily. I'm wondering if that was deliberate. It was, introduced in a disciplined fashion with all the ramifications of offering some feature and not necessarily thinking about its operation and ramifications.
I guess we're too young for those sort of ramifications. We tried to offer every service that the rental house could, and then allow people to pick the services they wanted to offer. So if you had a trailer and you didn't want to drop it off and you only wanted people to pick it up, well, then that would limit your rents, and you could choose that on your own. So we're trying to give much control to the person themselves and allow them to run their own business in a stance, right? And us just offer the platform and the traffic. So.
Hi, I'm Bob. I had my first experience running from Tool about a month ago with skid steer. I don't know, you might have actually picked it up, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's very nice.
Great experience. It was competitive. What really was good for me as a homeowner to see this skid steer for a day was you guys, I didn't have to go to a rental place to do it. It was all by phone. It showed up at my doorstep. You guys picked it up. Still waiting for my deposit back, but we can talk about that. What I was curious about is if something happened while I to the equipment while I rented it, who's responsible for getting the repair done to a piece of equipment like that? Do you guys do that for the tool owner, or is you just return it to them and then they have to take care of it? How's it work?
So right now we are in Dallas and we're still like pretty much brick and mortar. So we have an in-house tech, right, that we can do it. Sort of relying on the owner of that tool. Like if it did come broken, like we would accept responsibility or get responsibility on the customer. And then yeah, if you wanted to go out and get a bid, that would be the only way right now. Like if you were in let's say Chicago and you had a tool, I don't have any influences out there, so you would have to go to a shop, get it fixed, and then tell us, and we would back charge the customer. Kind of like filing a claim. So I remember you now.
Any other questions?
Hi, my name is Sagar, and my question was how are your margins on your revenue system? Like, how much does the owner get and how much are you making on renting?
How much does the owner make? We're keeping 25% roughly on each rent. A lot of that goes back to building the system to kind of keep the rents going out in different places like the office, the in-house mechanic and stuff like that. Stuff that I set up personally here for Dallas so that we could get that out to different customers. So we don't have an accountant or anything like that. We use Stripe, and so we just keep putting it back into the company and let it go.
So, as a homeowner, if I post something online, do you have a minimum amount? Like this is the minimum you can rent it for, or you can, depending on the homeowner, if I want to rent it for $1, I can do that. So you can 25 cents on that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we haven't set a minimum on that. You can set your own price. So whatever you want to set your price at.
We have time for one more question. Any other questions?
how many of the people who are renting out their own tools do you see repeatedly doing so? Or do you track that?
So we have one gentleman that has 5 pieces that I pretty much have in my house all the time now. Like, it doesn't seem like he has any work or he's bought more work for it or something like that. But if they upload their tool, most of the time they continue to come back and re-rent it. Almost every time. So we've had one guy take off one skid steer because it was sort of a limit. It was having so many headaches. We'd have to go and pick it up each and every time. I'd have to give him steers for free, you know, to kind of balance everything out. So we kind of asked him to remove this too. So eventually we'll have a quality control and more of those features that kind of like bounce out the limits and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's in the pocket.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That was a great presentation, and it sounds like everyone's a lot more interested in the platform now, which is great. 1 Million Cups would not be possible without our sponsors, so thank you so much to Fathom Software for providing the coffee this morning. I know I appreciate it. Our video sponsor is actually not IFB Marketing. They were fantastic though. They were our sponsors last month. This month, our video is being done by our lovely new volunteer, Michael, in the back. He's amazing. Give him a round of applause, and I appreciate it. Person couldn't make it out today, but they usually bring us tasty treats. If this is your first time here, it's worth returning just to try any of these delicious snacks. They're like pastries. They're not donuts. They're not pretzel. I don't know what they are, but they're delicious. Thank you to the DEC for providing this space where we're meeting at today. All of 1 Million Cups is run by volunteers, and we are at the DEC because they are awesome and they're allowing us to use their space. So thank you so much to the DEC. If you're interested in co-working out of here, feel free to find any of the DEC workers. Rachel in the back there is raising her hand. She's fantastic. Go say hi. So thank you so much to our sponsors. Our next presenter is going to be, we should be ready for this, Lucky Pet Deals. And thank you so much for coming out. Give them a round of applause, guys.
Morning, Dallas. Morning. Someone is sitting in the shade today because somebody planted a tree, Warren Buffett. The reason I mentioned that is because I think a lot of us here are trying to make a difference. Making money is fun, but making a positive impact is needed. We are Lucky Pet Deals. We strive to bring the pet services to our local pet communities, to our pet parents. We do this to donate proceeds to local animal pet shelters and also build beautiful parks in our communities. Like this. Now, raise your hand if you have a pet. Who has a pet here? Now, raise your hand if you've taken your pet to the park. I know I have. My dog Lucky, the most adorable Boston Terrier you will ever meet, loves it. The reason he loves it is because he loves playing with his friends at the park. Now, how are we going to build these parks? Let me introduce you to Pet Friendly Business Director at Lucky Pet Deals. Here, pet parents can find local veterinary care, pet sitting, pet boarding, pet grooming, anything that you're looking for your pet. We allow our members to post products and services that they offer. They can also publish coupons so you'll be able to find national and local coupons with your pet retailer. And also, we allow them to share their events as well, and share and support on our social media platforms. My name is Abdel Hernandez. I'm the General and Marketing Manager for the company. I have Eli Smith, our VP of Customer Relationships. Charlie Schreiner, who is our Operations Manager, couldn't make it here today, but sends his regards. And then we also have Gabby, Ava, and Deepika, which is part of our important business team as well. Couldn't be here, even though they would like to have been here. So our value proposition to our members, ever growing online pet business, pet community, with a massive, huge, ever growing social media, with thousands of followers. So we want to become the marketing partner to all of our members, helping with all the different digital marketing needs. So let's face it, the problem that we're having, or that small businesses have, is that they're getting consumed by the large national retailers. We've all seen that. So it's very important to compete online. There's an estimated 160,000 pet businesses in the US alone. And LuckyPetDeals.com, the pet-friendly business directory, is the solution. So this is what we do. We have a paid membership model, and we also sell social media marketing, SEM, SEO, and other items as well. Here's some of our pricing here. I won't go into much details. I know we have limited time, but we're hoping to get a cash flow. We're aiming to get to $258,000 by the end of year 1. At the end of year 5, we're aiming to get to the 4.6 million mark. And then just for the investors out there, if there's any investors out there, we did want to share some profitability numbers with you all today. As far as customer acquisition cost and also some of the revenue per customer, we're hoping to return a 6.5x by the end of year 1 to all of our investors. So what do we need? We need to complete our leadership team. So we have our doors open. We have our doors open to new members that want to join. So if there's anybody that's really passionate for pets, that likes business, that wants to do social media, or wants to strive to do something great, be part of something amazing, the mission that we have our doors open. We also need mentorship. We need guidance and connectors. We also need sales. Who doesn't need sales here, correct? And we need some capital as well. And why do we need this? We need this to turn this, and this into these. Beautiful parks for a local pet community to enjoy with their pets. If you believe in the idea, I want you to please ask yourself and support us. Follow our story. Follow us on social media at LuckyPetDeals.com. I know we're going to get the question of how can you support us today, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I wanted to remind you that we're all here, and while making money is fun, and it's necessary and important, making a positive impact, that's meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. That was interesting. We'll start with the first question: is what can the community do for you?
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Well, we do have, if you believe in the idea, please support us on Thunderclap, support our crowdfunding efforts on thunderclap.it. You can join a lot of the supporters. We're trying to reach that 1 million mark of social reach. You can go to the website directly, or you can actually, one of the easiest ways to do it also would be to go to our pin post on Facebook or also on Twitter. And then from that point, you're able to click on the link, click on support. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything. So that would be a great thing. And then also, if anybody is open to is looking for opportunities, sales, internships, investment, feel free to talk to us.
Great. Let's go ahead and start with some questions. We'll go somewhere here. Hi. I'm a little unclear. So in your graph that showed your revenue sources, you had memberships. So I'm a little unclear why I would become a member of your company, a paying customer. Do I get like hooked into a network of dog parks, or Can you clarify?
Oh, absolutely, that's a great question. So yes, we do have a membership model, and that's primarily for our veterinarians, our dog groomers, our dog daycare owners, just to name a few. We're aiming to get an average cost per lead of about $10, which if you've ever ran any type of digital marketing, you know that cost per lead can be quite expensive. Usually a veterinarian, you want maybe $40, $50, maybe $60 per lead. So that's why we would actually want to sign up as a member. Membership's only $15, $20 per month, not bad at all, and then you also build your brand as well. You get shout outs, and that's the primary value proposition.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie. I have a clarifying question, I think. What's the first priority? Is it A, dog parks, B, a coupon site or a deals website, or 3, more of your marketing efforts like an agency? Which of those is like the primary focus of pet deals?
Okay, excellent question. So that's very important. The priority right now for us is actually to start building our membership base. That's first and foremost. We have our sales team actually making sales calls. We have digital efforts to land on our website to get memberships. And then from that revenue, we're also able to, pay for these dog parks. So right now we're still in the startup stages. So that's one thing. And then once we get in the door with that $15, $20 membership, which is definitely valuable, then we can talk to you that, hey, you know what? Let us do what we do for us, for your business. So we got a couple of customers already. We're helping them out, and then we're proving ourselves first.
So is the end result the park?
Yes, exactly. The end results, that's our legacy. That's what we want to lead. Yes, thank you.
Before I ask my question, just by way of clarification, when you say increased membership, these are the businesses that you will sign on this platform, correct?
Yes, that is correct. We have both the supply side, which is the businesses, and then we have our demand side, which is the general user or pet parents.
But the general user is not paid
No,
membership.
it's absolutely free for pet parents. Absolutely free.
So when you put the Costco customer acquisition, Coca acquiring on both sides of the platform?
That's a great question. No, that's actually not just the members, the paid members, just business.
And from also your revenue side, is there a slide that shows of whether it's a member or a general audience customer, and how are they working together over time, the LTV and the Coca? I think that would be an interesting. Since you put one, I think one without the other is not going to be meaningful to potential investors. So you probably need to to offer that as well.
Excellent advice. Definitely agree. Just for the presentation sake here, it was entrepreneurs, investors, our community, here, but definitely will have that for our investors.
Hi, and thank you for the presentation. As a pet owner, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so as a pet owner, I love your mission and I wish you guys success. So the way I see the company is, I see it as a marketing company. Can you hear me? Okay, so I see it as a marketing company, and you basically charge your members for all the marketing tools that you guys have. So if I'm selling something related with pets, I guess that you have sales tool that is going to justify why I would pay a membership to your website. Is that correct? So guide me through the kind of marketing tools that you guys have developed, or why would anyone pay a membership to your website? We know that the pet industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Why anyone would pay to be a member of your company?
Well, that's a really great question, and that's a value proposition that we sell. First of all, we have to convince people. And then second of all, we need to have proof. That proof is our current membership. So that it just snowballs. It just snowballs. So once you start getting members, you start seeing, people start seeing what you're doing for them, sharing their content, word of mouth. That's the essence of what we're doing. But yes.
Just as a follow-up, I mean, I pay Netflix to watch movies, right? So why would I pay you? What value you provide?
Right, that's again, a great question. The way we see it right now, at least, basic penetration strategy. Think about, Hulu, for example. Hulu years ago, just a couple years ago, you can actually go to Hulu and watch all the movies, watch all the shows. Today, you can't even find a free movie on there. Is that not right? So that's what we're doing. We're actually getting people the premium and then moving that to a paid subscription. And then when they see, once they see that we're actually giving them business, because ultimately they want calls. They want to be seen. The dashboard has the ability to see how many views your profile has received. So that's a really good question. Thank you for that.
So I have a question about the dog parks. So how do the dog parks fit into the business model? You said that you were looking for investors for those, but you didn't say how that's going to get the 6.5x return.
Okay, great. Yeah, so that's something that we're giving back to the community through our business. So the dog parks are just an outcome of what we're doing with our pet directory. That's the outcome. That's what we're giving back. Everybody gets to shelters, which we do and support, and love people that do that. But that doesn't set us apart. It's better to be different than to be better sometimes. So that's why we're doing dog parks, and that's something that we can lead. And we still get support from local pet organizations. Yeah.
I'm a little unclear about what it is that you actually do. Do you think maybe incentives or praise you kind of saying that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a little confused and it seems unclear of what the business structure actually is. Could you describe in a phrase what it is that you actually do?
Okay, yeah, so we're an online pet community that helps local pet merchants list their services and products on our site, and we charge them a paid monthly subscription and help them with their digital marketing efforts.
Okay, next question, if you just speak up, our microphone's dying.
I have a question about how you're handling competition or potential competition. You mentioned that they join the site on the freemium, and then you do paid. What stops competitors moving at that point when you put the revenue customer for freemium?
Okay, yeah, there's several competition. There's direct and indirect customers. Some of our direct customers, there's a couple of pet directories out there. They serve their purpose. You can find pet merchants on there. There's a couple of other competitors that also into a little bit more niche type of items and services that they promote on their website. What we're doing is we're just hitting it hard. We're just trying to do the best that we can. We're just using all the tools, the enterprise tools that we can use, learn from the best, and that's why we're looking for mentorships because there's a lot of activities that we can take. However, we need somebody that knows how to walk us in the right direction. So that's how we're hoping to actually beat our competition.
Hi. I called your lead generation company for pet services company. Would that be incorrect?
That would not be incorrect.
I just have a question about your general business model, and it's very interesting the fact that you say that you'll be able to create a more competitive position for the mom and pop shop against the big retailers. It's kind of a catch-22 type of situation, and I'm curious how you plan to control that, because as you get more and more and you sign more and more members, essentially now you have created another competitive environment for the small mom and pop shops. competing against each other. So now you don't have the major retailers, but now you have the small shops. So I guess I'm curious how you plan to manage that and control that as you get bigger with your customers.
A really great question. We thought that's, I guess, we will have to cross that bridge when we get there, but we hope to do it with integrity and help our clients to our utmost.
Okay, maybe we got time for one more question. Anybody?
I would just like to give a feedback regarding that. And it just reminded me of once my dad said, "Hey, the confused mind always says no." And it's like, and there's still a lot of confusion whether we do go through questions. If you just simple it down and just as you said during the startup phase, I've been there. I tried like with my own startup. I tried to do a lot of things. Just like what my dad, my mentors said, like just stick with one thing, go forward with that. As soon as it's 90% done, then start thinking about anything else. That might be a lot beneficial for you guys. Help me out. That was just the feedback which I wanted to share.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. Thank you.
You guys haven't received a free patch, I'm giving some of these away. To you guys for being here today, thank you for supporting us, and also want to come send it back. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to